I was born into and raised in one of the most notorious international religious cults in modern history. It was a Christian cult. Now, it was a really bad, very abusive cult. It was best known for all types of harm to children, including child trafficking. So I'm going to keep my words really soft, but just so you understand where I'm coming from, that was the first 20 years of my life, okay? So we were mostly American children. We were in almost every country in the world at one point. So I was born in Brazil, raised all over the world. All right, so just imagine a bunch of little white kids like singing and fundraising in third world countries, raising money under the guise of Christian missionary work, because that was the front, yes. But also like spending, 12, 16-hour days out there on the streets, right? Now during Christmas, we had what was called the Christmas push. It was like, basically go harder. So for about 6 weeks leading up to Christmas Day, we hit the pavement even harder. Like this was just ramping everything up. We had higher quotas of money to make and all these different things. So suffice it to say, we really did not like this at all, right? It was very, very difficult and tiring. We'd arrive at Christmas Day just absolutely exhausted. A lot of us got sick and had to push through it. Like a lot of really horrific things were going on at that time. You can sense where I got this dark humor from, right? So I escaped this cult when I was 20 years old. And that was the first Christmas I ever had where I wasn't being labor trafficked, where I wasn't fundraising and just like hitting the pavement 24/7. It was the first Christmas where all was quiet and I was just able to enjoy. Now I was still trying to figure out life at this point, right? But everyone was just, having holiday parties and everyone was all being normal. And that was my first introduction into the magic of Christmas, right? Now again, dark humor, you can laugh with me. Christmas was never traditional or magical to me, but there was definitely something pretty incredible about just the peace I felt of, again, having escaped the cult and not knowing, and having no support, not knowing what to do in life, but also just not having to be singing on the streets or any kind of fundraising and just being able to sit there and be still. So I know Christmas can actually be a really hard time for a lot of people, especially people with severe types of trauma and childhood abuse and things like that. And look, for me, it's still not this magical time. Like I didn't grow up with any kind of tradition, so it's just kind of, I'm no Grinch, but it's just, I enjoy the peace and quiet of Christmas. And I want to encourage people that might feel lonely or, even maybe depressed at this time of year. I want to give you the permission, if you haven't given it to yourself yet, to reframe it, right? Because it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing or what tradition tells you you're supposed to do. For me, Christmas isn't difficult. Now, for me, it's also not like magical. I just really enjoy the peace and quiet when everybody's busy and stressed and they leave you alone. I really enjoy it. And okay, I'm also kind of a hermit, right? So I really enjoy and I refuel with this alone time and this me time. But I mostly just want to, share some dark humor with anyone who can relate and just need a little laugh, but also relate to